Welcome, Bob, and thank you for being on the show today.
Councilman, thank you very much for this opportunity.
You know, your department has a lot of responsibility for monitoring and improving the air over the entire valley. Could you give us an overview of what you do and what are some of the problems with our air quality?
Sure. We're a regulatory agency. Our main focus is to keep the air as clean as possible, to keep our residents as healthy as possible by keeping our air clean as possible. I think I just came up with a new slogan there, so remind me of that later. We have, obviously, there's several combustional particulates that we're concerned about, but we have three major seasons that we're most concerned about. The first one is the ozone season. That is from spring to summer, because the ozone, the VOCs, the volatile organic compounds that create the ozone are most prevalent when there's heat. They react to the sunlight. Then, of course, we have the dust, our dust season, which is PM10, and that coincides with the monsoon season. And of course, we can't do a lot about the monsoon and seasons and the dust storms that come in, but we can help curtail the man-made sources of dust. And that's why we developed a rapid response program in which we get alerts from our monitors, 5-minute alerts. And then if something's going on that is man-made, if it might be a farmer farming or something, we can call folks in that area, and then we also send alerts to those folks in that geographical location, and they can find out what's going on and they can curtail their activities. The third season is our PM 2.5, or smoke, and that's during the winter months, specifically around the holidays. That's when we get the most wood-burning activities, and as you know, around the holidays, people want to use their fireplaces. I love having fireplaces, but that creates a lot of smoke in the air, a lot of soot.
You know, I have a fireplace and I've never used it.
Oh, cool, good. Then we won't write your address now. We won't check and see where you.
But you mentioned, you know, that wood burning is a problem. Can you talk a little bit about soot from the fires and explain what's PM 2.5? What is that?
Okay, that's the really fine particles that we have in the soot, in the smoke. And to give you an idea of how small it is, it's 2.5 micrometers in diameter. So if you pick an average or someone normal hair is 30 times larger. So that gives you an idea of the possible health risk we have with that type of particulate matter, because it can get into your lungs, into your bloodstream. So that's why it causes a huge health problem, health risk.
Well, you know, during the winter months, we can see the smog floating above the valley. How do we actually know what the cause is?
Well, it varies, and you're right. It's not a good idea to see the air. If you see the air, we're not doing our job. We have several monitors around the county that measure the levels of ozone, dust, and of course PM 2.5. And we have 8 monitors in the valley, including one in Glendale Community College, that measure the PM 2.5. Some of those monitors can tell us what is in the air. A lot of times what happens is, you know, we've been having mulch fires quite a bit in the area. We will get called out with our portable monitor. We'll place it usually downwind, or if there's a school in the area, we may place it in the school. And this way we can get the readings. We can see how healthy or unhealthy the levels are. And this will give us some material to, for example, the school district. If there's a school in that area, the school may want to close down the school, or maybe keep the kids in for recess. We'll give them the data to help them determine that. So that's what one of our jobs is to try to read the levels and let folks know how healthy and what the possible risks are.
And does weather have any impact on the air quality?
Yeah, sometimes it does a great deal, to be honest with you. And sometimes it's funny, for example, wind. Sometimes wind could be our friend. During the winter months, you know, the wind will break up the PM 2.5, but obviously during the summer months for dust, it's our enemy, because if it's been dry and there's loose soil, and as you well know, it's going to kick up the dust and get that into the air. The PM 2.5 aspect is because there's stagnant air. That, combined with the cooler temperatures in the winter, creates inversion layer. So that's what causes the problem for PM 2.5. Plus, there's more wood burning activity because it is cooler and colder. Folks may be using their fireplaces more, or their outdoor fire pits. So the weather is a huge factor. And of course, we have rain during the summertime, which will help combat the dust and also for the smoke. So rain is good in air quality.